What are the expectations for this Kentucky basketball team? It's something Carson and I have talked about many times over the last few months, but I think they're starting to change as we get closer to the season. And Carson and I are going to tell you why, and why you shouldn't feel embarrassed or you shouldn't feel upset. You shouldn't be made fun of for believing this team can win a national championship. We'll break that all down on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson, you going to Keeneland today? What's the day looking like for you?
Probably not. I haven't really decided on what I want to do yet. I know tomorrow I'm probably going to go. So it should be a fun weekend. Keeneland opening, and the Cats play tomorrow. But Keeneland opening is going to be super fun.
Of course, yeah. I'm waiting on Dr. Coulter to text me some locks here for the day today with his code for the horse racing. So we're quite excited to get on the ponies here on the Wildcats Today podcast. That's safe to say. But Carson, the reason I wanted to have this conversation today is, like I said, I think that the expectations for this team, I think as a fan base, and this is the point I want to get across. As a fan base, we've seen a lot of folks, and I think it was mostly due to the last 5 years of the Calipari era before Coach Pope got here. I think that we got away from what Kentucky basketball has been since the start of this program. This has been a team that wins a lot of games and wins a lot of banners and wins national championships, wins SEC tournaments, wins SEC regular season titles. And we've kind of gotten away from that. Like, it's been a long time since we've won anything in Nashville. It's been a long time since we made a run in the tournament, if you don't count last year's Sweet 16 run. And this year's basketball team is good enough to turn that around and get us back to being Kentucky basketball. And I think that fans should be excited and should be ready for this team. And also, Carson, I mean, we spent a lot of money on this roster. I think that's the thing people are forgetting too. I mean, this is it. Probably, I mean, we don't know what everybody's been, probably the most expensive roster in college basketball. And with that, with money spent comes expectations, Carson. So I think they should be high and fans should be excited.
Yeah, there's definitely high expectations. And yeah, I think the fans are excited. I mean, looking down this roster, you have every piece that you want. You have good defense, you have great offense, you have playmakers, you have good leaders. You even got Kentucky boys. You got everything that you want on this roster. And it gets me really excited because it makes me seem like, hey, the championship is right there for the taking with this team, right? I mean, that's the ceiling. The ceiling is we're coming to get that natty. And the floor for me, the floor would be probably, I know it sounds crazy. I think the floor for this team is the Elite Eight. I think the Elite Eight is our floor right now.
Well, I think you make it the point you just made is perfect because it sets up what I'm trying to get across today, which is we need to get back to not having to say this is crazy, but I think the floor should be the Elite Eight. That needs to get back to being the year in and year out expectation of every single Kentucky basketball team. I mean, people, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll get comments here in our comments of opposing fan bases saying, oh, you all are crazy. You think Kentucky's going to go to the Final Four? It's like, there used to be a day where people would think you were crazy if you said, I think Kentucky's not going to go to the Final Four. And we need to get back to that. That's what we need to get back to. And I think this season is going to be the start of something special in the Mark Pope era. That's my belief. I mean, last year was the only year that and you and I said it, Carson, the expectations for Coach Pope in year one, put together a team, shows what your offense can do, and whatever happens in March happens in March. He ends up getting a 3 seed. He ends up going to the Sweet 16. It was impressive. It was an impressive
ends up
year
tying
one
for the most AP top 15 wins in history in his first season.
Serious. I mean, it was an incredible start to the Mark Pope era, and you're only going to go up from there. It's only going to continue to get better and better. And this basketball team has the players to go and win a national championship. That's the reality. It's good enough. Now, having a healthy Quaintance, I think, plays a big role in that. I've said this is a top 10, 12 for sure team without Quaintance. With a healthy Jaden Quaintance, this is a top 5 team in college basketball. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
So you need him out there. But I just think it's time for Kentucky fans. And obviously, there's a lot of excitement for the season, Carson. I mean, you can feel it in Lexington. There's no question about the excitement for the season. But I think that it's time for fans to start being able to just be more vocal about it on social, wherever they are. I mean, you need to be vocal and excited about this team. All right, Papal, come here. Papal, come on. Here we go. All right, Papal, I need a 20-second breakdown. How good is this basketball team going to be?
What's up, Papal?
Absolutely tear this league up this year.
And who's your favorite player on the team?
No doubt about it.
Okay, now my last interview question for you, Papal. Do you got a player on the team that's going to be surprise people, going to be a sleeper, underrated player?
Cam Williams.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be a surprise. I think people are starting to wake up and learn about him already.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're right about that. And Papal, you like Colin Chandler too, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
And Papal thinks Colin Chandler is going to have a good year, and I think all of Big Blue Nation agrees with that.
I think everything he just said is factual statement.
It is.
That's awesome.
Well, Papal, we come on this beach trip, on this fishing trip every year, and every year Papal is going to come and give his thoughts because it's always right before the basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Papal. Thank you,
Papal.
Yes. All right. Go Cats. Papal's all in. That got me fired up. But I think that's what I'm saying. I mean, the excitement all around Big Blue Nation is there, Carson, and I think it's great to have that back because it just felt like during the last handful of years of the Calipari era, you just didn't have that. I mean, obviously we were excited, but it was also in a time where there was excitement for the football team. And it was all, you know what I mean? It kind of drowned out because the basketball team was losing in March and the football team was winning 8, 9, 10 games. And I think the football team stinking is part of this. But Carson, this is the most excited I've been in my lifetime for a Kentucky basketball season.
Oh yeah, me too. And I want to go back on some of the things you said about last season, where I think the biggest difference between last season and this season is one. Mark Pope had more than 3 months to recruit. He had a whole entire year to build his team. Mm. And the biggest thing for me is because it was so last minute last year, most of the guys didn't have full summers to work out and get better and grow. And this season, everyone has had all the time in the world they need to get better, grow, get in with it with the team chemistry. I just think it's going to be a lot better of a product on the court this season with the athleticism additions, with the defensive capabilities. It's just exciting to me. And I mean, heck, like I said, last year we won 8 top 15 games. And I mean, that was within 3 months of building a roster with maybe not the biggest talent pieces in the world. And then this year you get the talent, you have the returners, you have every single thing you want. So for me, it shows that, hey, the sky's the limit for this group.
Yeah. But I just want to get back to the day and age where you could say, I think Kentucky's going to be really good and don't get laughed at. I think Kentucky's good enough to win it all. I think this is a Final Four team. I think this is one of the best rosters. You can say those things and not have other SEC fan bases, other blue blood fan bases laugh at you, and that's the reality.
That's the part where you say what you want on Twitter and then you get made fun of, right? But then there's that little button. There's that little button on the corner right there. It's a bookmark. Mm-hmm. And you just click that bookmark button and then you wait. You just wait until the Cats go to the national championship and you flood all those messages.
Now, I'd like to know, ahead of this basketball season, Carson, if you had to give me a ballpark answer, how many things have you bookmarked on Twitter over the last 3 months? Give me a ballpark answer.
I'd say already over 35.
Okay. I was expecting triple digits. So that makes me feel better.
It's most of the time, like I'll think to bookmark something and then I just forget about it. Yeah. But most of the bookmarks have to do with the fan base up 64. So
I'm with you. But I mean, and folks, and the reality is today we're going to be talking a lot of, this is going to be a lot of, we're going to be great stuff. Not a lot of breakdown of the team. And I'll tell you why, because this is realistically probably the last off-season show.
Finally.
Pro Day is coming up, right?
Tuesday.
Pro Day is on Tuesday, so we'll talk about Pro Day on Tuesday. Then after that, you got the blue-white game.
Mhm.
Then after that, you got Big Blue Madness.
Big Blue Madness.
Then after that, you got the Purdue game, and then it's basketball season. So I'm just saying, this is probably the last off-season thing you're going to see, and that's why I wanted to do this today, because we're talking full-on what happened at Pro Day, who stood out. Like, even if we do something on Tuesday, it might be we're probably going to get into doing 3 shows during the season. And so next week on Tuesday, we might preview who do we expect to shine at the Pro Day, and then we'll talk about Pro Day, and then we'll preview.
I give you mine right now already.
Well, then how are we going to have a show on it if you tell yours right now? Why don't you save it for Tuesday?
Okay.
Just save it for Tuesday. I mean, goodness gracious. Or maybe
I have multiple, though.
But
this roster's loaded, man.
Are you going to say the whole team? The whole team's going to impress at Pro Day?
Whole team.
Yeah.
Reese Potter, baby. Reese Potter.
Unicorn, 1-8 unicorns.
Unicorn.
He's going to play the 2 for us, Yeah.
That comment was abysmal.
Yeah. But so that's the point I wanted to try and get across today, Carson. Not to, keep reiterating myself, but be excited, ladies and gentlemen. This is a season, and I'll try and give you my address of the union or whatever, but this is the season where Kentucky basketball is going to get back to being Kentucky basketball. We're the best program in the history of college basketball, and we've gotten away from what makes us great. We haven't been winning. It hasn't been great over the last 5 years. Last year was exciting, but obviously it was year one of a new era. Mark Pope has this basketball program back. Mark Pope is going to take this basketball team far. He's going to get this team back to where every single you walk into Rupp Arena and you have brown spots running down your leg before the game starts. Mark Pope's going to get back to where when you go on the road every night, no matter what, it's the biggest game of the season. That calendar is marked. That is what Mark Pope is going to return Kentucky basketball to, and it starts this season. And this is the last season where you're going to have to try and temper your expectations, because after this season, it's going to be you win it all or it was a waste of a few months. That's going to be the reality. And Mark Pope's going to get us back there this season. So I am fired up.
Woo! I love it.
Let's hear it, Carson. I need your fire up speech out of you. Let's get a rocket. Let's Clip Farm rocket today.
Yeah. So, our coach not only is an amazing coach, he won a national title as a Kentucky Wildcat. So he knows what it means to put on that Kentucky uniform and go to war every day with his brothers. And he's going to show these kids that it's all about love, right? Mm-hmm. It's all about doing everything possible for that guy right next to you and putting on that Kentucky uniform and wearing it for the community of Kentucky. It means more to every single person in this state to have them wear this jersey, and they need to know that, and they will know that with Mark Pope under the helm. And these kids are going to give 110, 130% on the court, and they're going to make it all the way to the national championship, and everyone is going to just fall apart because the Kentucky Wildcats are back.
I love it. I'm ready. If this wasn't an Airbnb, I would run through that screen door right now. I would. I really would. Okay, I think that's the bulk of that. But Carson, I want you to give us a Tyrron Stokes update. Where do we stand there? It sounds like this is heating up, and it sounds like we're maybe inching closer to a commitment date for Stokes. So what are you hearing?
Yeah. So for Stokes, I'm hearing majority of now it's Kentucky and Kansas. Mm-hmm. I think those are two of the primary schools that are going after him. I still feel that Kentucky has the advantage there. I think it's more of a slight advantage than anything. But I think those are the two schools, if you're really looking in. And I think Kenny has something to do with the Kansas Smoke as well. I think they may want to play together. But yeah. I think if you're looking at two certain teams, those are the two teams that I would bet on that he ends up wearing one of those jerseys.
Yeah. I don't think I feel great right now. I'm not saying we're done or we're out of it. I'm just saying I don't like when, and this is I'll give you a horse racing example because we're going to do it today. You don't like it when your horse is burning out of the gun. You know what I mean? You don't like it when your horse is out front in the very beginning, because a lot of times you're going to have that late closer come around and beat you by a nose. And I think that is what I'm worried about here in Kansas. And, take Kenny's in his ear, say, hey, come with me. Come here to Kansas.
Hey, 6'7".
Yeah, there he's saying that. But I think that is taking easy in his ear. Come here, man. Come play with me. Let's go. Let's be the 1-2 punch. Let's be Shaq and Kobe. Come on. I think that he's in his ear saying that, and you're going to have to try and find a way to push back if you're Mark Pope. And it's not over. I'm just saying that my confidence has dwindled quite a bit over the last 2 weeks, I'd say. But I do think Pope is going all in on this guy to where I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna miss. I think he's gonna do everything in his power to try and land Stokes. So we'll see. But I also think this is a recruitment, Carson, and I've seen this on social media that I think a lot of people are acting like they know, and not a lot of people know. I think it's a quiet recruitment.
It's the recruitment of the number one player in the country. Exactly. It always goes this way. Yeah. You never really know where he's going until the last minute.
Yeah. And he could go to Kansas. He could go to Kentucky. I don't think many people know right now. And I don't think he knows. And that's what makes me feel better is he's still figuring it out. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. We'll spend
I have a thought, Andrew.
Okay.
The Cats are going to beat Georgia tomorrow.
Really?
No.
Okay. I figured you were joking. But then you always do get this little bit of confidence before football games on Friday. I'm like, maybe. But then I was like, no.
I'll tell you this, though. I think we cover.
What even is the spread?
It's 22 or something like that.
That's so sad.
I know.
That's so sad. It makes me sad. Looking at an SEC spread over 20 points. I mean, if history for us against Georgia. Yeah, I think we'll cover. Do I think we'll win? Gosh, no. I don't think. I mean, if you're a Kentucky football fan and you are interested in watching tomorrow's game, I think the only thing you should be paying attention to is watching our quarterback and saying, does this kid have it? Is this kid potentially the future for our program?
Let me stop you there, Andrew, because it seemed to me that Jagger Burton was getting thrown on his rump a lot against South Carolina. And let me tell you this, Georgia's got 5 stars, 3 of them at every single position on that defensive line. So good luck. That's all you got to say. Poor Cutter.
You're right. But that's just for me. You're right. I mean, there's a good chance that we leave this game. And we'll tell you, I think it was unfair to fully judge Boley on what happened against South Carolina because of offensive line play. And I have a feeling we'll be saying the same thing after Saturday's game. But
not to mention, a lot would have changed if Pete would have just fell on that fumble.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know we got the doors blown off us after that, but I mean, it just, you pick that up and you
pick that up, you punt instead of have a touchdown. And then, not to mention, after you give up that touchdown, you throw a pick 6 right after that. So it's maybe both those things don't happen if you just pick up football.
And then the route was on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a reality. I mean, it's hard to keep momentum.
Well, when this team gets down 2 touchdowns, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Oh, yeah.
We can't come back.
Exactly right. But so I'm looking forward to watching the game tomorrow. I mean, it's a nooner, right? I mean, that's how basketball season ready I am. I'm like, it's noon, right? Yeah. So it's
talk about switch from football to basketball season. After this week, it's another bye for UK. Mm-hmm. Then you got the pro day on Tuesday. You got blue-white game. I feel like a lot of the fans are gonna kind of switch over and get their nice little front row setup going. Yeah. Their button-down shirt with the throw over.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. But no, I mean, just that for me as a Kentucky fan, that's all I'm doing. I'm watching Boley saying, does this kid have it? And there's a good chance I leave the game going, still don't know, because he was looking at the sky all game after being sacked 11 times. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen, but we could lose by 3 touchdowns and I could still leave this game going, Boley looked okay. You could see it. So I just want to see some signs that maybe this kid has it. So anything else for this football game, Carson?
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got as well. Hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That would help a lot. Also, the show's back going on. It's a long story, but we've been back on Spotify. Everywhere you get podcasts, we've been back there for about 2 or 3 weeks. And we're back. But so I just like to say that, like, if you're listening to us here and you are driving to work one day and you're not going to have time to, pull up, pop us on Spotify, or Apple Podcasts or wherever.
Or it's also perfect while you're working out. If you got your little Spotify going.
Exactly.
Get on the cardio machine. It takes what? We're doing it for 20 minutes. You walk for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You already feel better. You got your
Wildcats Today. Get off the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Go into the sauna. That's the way you got to look at it. So hit that subscribe button. Check us out. Leave us a 5-star review on podcast platforms. All that stuff helps us out a ton. We really appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Friday, a great weekend. Enjoy.
Hopefully see you at Keeneland.
Hope to see everybody at Keeneland, and we will see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.